continue to follow the story on the Russian Airbus passenger plane that killed 224 people over the weekend. We continue to follow that story and give you updates of the progress or what information is coming out, and then dissect that a little bit. As we reported yesterday, ISIS terror attack was not ruled out by aviation officials or government officials from anywhere, Russia, the United States, mainstream media, or any other alternative media source as well. The updates today, a couple things leading more towards that the plane was brought down purposely by an explosion. First off, British flights now have been halted in the Sinai Peninsula. So anybody taking off from the airport, all the flights from British Airlines and the British nation have ceased from that area. Now, the only reason that, that's a major statement. If this was mechanical failure or anything like that, British Airlines or anybody else's planes wouldn't make a difference. So them making this statement, they know something, or their experts are leaning towards the fact that this plane was in danger, and any future flights coming in that area are in danger because it's relatively close to a war zone, but it is a passenger plane being targeted, and they don't want any of their planes coming down, obviously. So that is a big statement from professionals, leaning obviously towards that this plane, any other flights in that area would be in jeopardy, or could be possible that they could be brought down too. Another thing that has developed over the last 24 hours is that some of the bodies have been examined now, and metal pieces and metal fragments have been found inside the bodies of the passengers seated near the rear of this plane that went down, this Russian jet that went down. So that is, and any of the other bodies that were more near the front forward of the plane and the pilots, and that had burns and obviously body trauma to them, but did not have fragments and things inside them. Now, what that suggests, according to experts and people using common sense, is that some type of explosion happened near the rear of the plane. And for that to happen, usually, again, it doesn't suggest if it was a bomb on board or if it was shot down by a missile or anything like that, or it doesn't come to that conclusion. But if it was a rocket or a missile or anything like that, would generally come from behind because it's heat censored and metal detected, so it would come back from chasing the plane rather than into the plane, especially if it was from a shoulder mount. But it also could indicate these fragments being found inside the bodies near the rear of the plane comes from an explosion inside the plane as well, possibly. The other note that I'd like to point out on this update is the fact that the tail part of the plane was found 5 kilometers away from the rest of the main wreckage of the plane. It was the debris scattered over 20 kilometers, but the main portion of the plane on the Metrojet, Russian Metrojet that came down that killed all 224 passengers, was found relatively close together, the majority of the pieces, except for the tail section, which means that it was obviously snapped off or blown off or fell apart at that section first, that caused the explosion, was found 5 kilometers away. Okay, thanks for tuning into the Eyes Open Network. What do you think? What do you think happens here? My opinion is now it's leaning. Again, I don't want to speculate, but I'm leaning towards more that it's sounding like, after the information today from the British flights being stopped and the pieces on the plane, ISIS claiming that the responsibility for this. They haven't said how they brought the plane down, so that's also speculative in one way, but also, doesn't rule out the fact that it was a bomb on board or it was a missile of some sort. What do you guys think? In the comments below, tell us what you think. Is it just coincidental, not enough information to make a determination yet fully, or do you actually think it's brought down by terrorists and or another source, maybe something else that I'm not thinking about? And I appreciate your comments below. Share this video with others, and like the video, because that shows that you support independent media and challenging the mainstream media onto giving the full story and taking a look at all angles and not being a propaganda network. Thanks again for watching the Eyes Open Network. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for a lot more videos and updates on this story and many more coming up soon.